do, actually, it is Christ doing in me. As we can do nothing good, unless there is the power, the connection with our God. God's character is a character which is beautiful character, simply because everything that God does is with perfection. For us, we may try because we are creating the image and likeness of God, but we cannot do anything unless we accept to be connected with God. Only when we are connected with God shall we be able to do anything to the glory of God, because we are enabled by Him. And then there is the third aspect, God's worth. How much is God worth to you? Do you really value Him? One of the reasons why we stray and go far from God is because in our estimate, God is worthless. God is valueless. He does not deserve our presence in Him. We feel that He should be far away from us because we think He is not important. But one author says that God actually is a treasure, most precious, more valuable, most desired than anything or anyone else in the universe. It's God who is important in all ways. And you know, not knowing God means we cannot understand His beauty. We cannot understand His perfection. We cannot understand His worth. We cannot understand His greatness. That's why if I move to a new location where somebody does not know me, I decide to mess up because I think God is limited in space, in substance, in duration. That is our problem. You move in a particular place, and because you are a stranger there, you can do anything. And even when you are alone, you think you can do certain things because people are your God. They are the ones you don't want them to know. They are the ones you fear. You don't fear God. If you are to know who God is, that He is everywhere, He can stand our mind, He knows everything from the beginning to the end, then we should be humbled and live according to His will, and therefore do things according to His glory. I want to come to the conclusion by making a number of statements. Number one, God is in a class of Himself, and nobody can equal Him. Let us know that God is not somebody like a politician or somebody we think that we can pray aloud with. He is of another class. Of course, we talk about the low class, the middle class, and the upper class. That upper class, God is not there. He is in another class, a self-class, which is above what we think is high. We fear human beings because we hear they are in the upper class. But God is different from that. And the manner in which He presents and conducts Himself is special. Because even though He is so high, He respects those who are so low. It's not like our leaders at the top who look down and despise those people whom they think are not important. God is different. And that's why He knows each one of us. I think we need to respect God. And we need to thank Him by doing His will because of how great He is and how much He has respected us. When you read the scriptures where I have led in the book of Philippians chapter 2, you can imagine God deciding to reduce Himself to become a human being. Listen to what the Bible is saying, talking about Jesus Christ, Emmanuel, God with us. In the book of John, I read chapter 1, verse 1. The Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. That is verse 2 and verse 3. All things were made through Him, and without Him, nothing was made that was made. And verse 14, the Bible says, And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory. Mark that. We beheld his glory, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. When we talk about God being glorious, us doing things to the glory of God, we need to know that only when we do things according to the will of God, that is when God will be glorified by us. And as I started, God intended that we glorify him. And that's why he created us in his image and likeness. And he says that even the heavens glorify him. The expectation of God is that we should glorify him in everything that we endeavor to do. And therefore, because it appeared as if there was serious misunderstanding of knowing who God is, and therefore we were not in a position to give glory to him, that's why he sent Jesus in a mission to this world. And therefore the Bible says, he who was the Word, that is Christ, he became incarnate, he became human, and through him the glory of God was seen. The glory of God was seen because Jesus became the true representation of God's character on earth. When Philip, in 14, verse 8 of John, asked Jesus, show us the Father. Jesus challenged him by saying, I have been with you here, Philip, for this long time, and you are telling me to show you the Father? He who has seen me have seen the Father. The book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 3, there Isaiah was shown a vision, and the angels in heaven who are covered with that glory which we lost in Eden, they were crying to each other saying, glory, holy, holy, holy. The earth is full with his glory. One biblical scholar questioned about that particular verse. Why say holy, holy, holy? The earth is full with his glory. Why not say the earth is full with his holiness? Because it was holy, holy, holy. The earth is full with his glory. Why the shift to glory? And it was holy times 3. And the explanation given is that God is holy. His character is holy. But only when manifested or displayed by us here on earth, by doing what God expects, that God glory can be seen on planet earth. So we are doing a disservice to God by failure to heed his instructions, to obey his commandment, to do his will, and therefore, by doing that, reflecting the character of God on earth, and therefore the glory of God will fill the earth. And many people will glorify God because in our lives we have done things to the glory of God. And finally, the book of John, chapter 11. You remember the incident of this man called Lazarus who had died. That is verse 40 to 44 there. Mary had an issue that Jesus had delayed to come when his brother Lazarus died. But Jesus tells him, if you read there from verse 40 to 44, he tells him that, I told you, if you believe, you will see the glory of God. And so the glory of God was seen when Lazarus was raised to life. An action done by Jesus, who had taken human nature, enabled him to glorify God. Anything that we do, because we have a connection with God, will be done to the glory of God. So it is my prayer this afternoon that each one of us may take the challenge and accept